amazing opportunity to have these young junior ROTC and students from around Hardin County and around Fort Knox come see our unit. These opportunities are tremendous, and we find it to be a privilege to tell them about their opportunities. We don't want anyone out there in the public to think that somehow this is a sequestered community or somehow this is unreachable. We want to give them every piece of information we can so they know the opportunities available to them. We're passionate about explaining what these young people could experience if they choose to join the Army and join this unit. Getting onto Fort Knox does take a process, but it's not closed to the public. You can go online and get a visitor pass, or you can simply come through the Chaffee Gate, which is the gate closest to the Gold Vault, so how most people refer to it. But come to the Chaffee Gate, there's a welcome center. You can walk in with a real ID, you can get a visitor pass and come in and visit. There's a lot of great and wonderful things to see on Fort Knox, and we'd love to host you. You can reach out to members of our unit, and we'd love to receive you.
Darian, bro.
All right, how is everyone doing today?
Doing good, William.
Great. All right, so my name is Lieutenant Logan. I'm from Army Reserve Aviation Command. We'll be checking that out later today. I'm an aviator by trade, originally an engineer, commissioned second lieutenant, flight school 60 qualified, so I fly Blackhawks. Right now I'm not flying Blackhawks, I wish I was, but I'm happy to be here with all of you. So, right now you're standing in the World War II barracks at the Patton Museum. This is a pretty historical thing, even though I think some of your cadre might have stayed in some barracks like this. There's still some places in the United States where you'll see barracks somewhat similar to this. So I want you to take a look around and think for a minute. If you have double bunk beds like that, stretching all along this wall, stretching all along that wall, all upstairs, and living here for months at a time. And that's what soldiers did for almost 70 years. Now, we have a little bit nicer facilities right now. We have hot water in the bathroom. We have dividers between the stalls. How many have looked in the bathrooms over there? That is an accurate depiction of what you might find on some military installations. For the most part, not anymore. Any of you that go to CST and commission, you're not going to stay somewhere like that. In basic training, you're not going to stay somewhere like that. Probably. But we've got a great day for you guys. Inside the Patton Museum, Mr. Reed, the museum director, is going to give you a pretty good presentation about the evolution of military uniforms. You're going to learn about General Patton. Who knows about General Patton? What is he famous for? He was a general in World War II. What specifically? What did he operate? What was his trade? Yeah. He was a tank operator. Who knows what Fort Knox used to be? Close. We didn't build tanks, but maintain tanks and train tanks. So this was the Army Armor Center of Excellence, I believe it was called. This is where all tank training used to happen. Now, not anymore. That's why you see tanks all around. So be thinking about that. If any of you have seen the old movie Stripes, I know you probably haven't. Who's seen Stripes? Okay, a couple people. So Stripes was filmed on Fort Knox. A lot of history here. Something you might see some signs for inside is the three hills on Fort Knox. Does anyone know the three hills, the three famous hills? You were on the way. Misery? No. We'll see. See you can figure that out today. There's three famous hills on Fort Knox. If many of you come here commissioned, you're going to be marching those hills. And the first one's called Misery, so it's not exactly a fun one. So take it in for a minute here. Check out the bathrooms. Check out the bunk beds. Imagine living in a situation like this. Then we'll bring you inside the Patton Museum. Happy to have you guys.
So right here, we got the M60. I know there's a lot of models of the M60, like the A2s and A3s. I can't remember which one this is, but this is the M60, and that's the Sheraton tank. Look at the barrels already blowed off there, so kids are having fun. That's what it's all about. Bulldogs taking over Fort Knox. Woo, woo. Hey, why don't y'all get on the tank, take a picture? I mean, what are y'all doing? Take some pictures with.
You can climb up and get on the tank. Just be careful. Be careful. Just be careful. Just be careful.
Well, it's not often that you can climb this tree. Can you go ahead?
How do you get on this?
My name is Sophia Sharp, and currently we are at the Patton Museum.
And right now we're right next to the tank exhibit. What's it like to be able to literally climb on top of this tree?
It was kind of, it felt like a memorable moment because like knowing that we used those tanks to like fight our battles and stuff, it just felt like you could feel like a connection through it.
And why does today feel important to you?
Today is important to me because I am a military child and I have PCS a lot, and my stepdad, he has gone to Afghanistan and deployed, so being in here like kind of makes me feel like a connection towards him at the same time. And it's just like a day where I feel represented.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it. I don't have public affairs permission right now with all the stupidity. I'd kind of like to stay here and keep teaching.
What would you think since you'll be representing that?
That was cheap. That was a little heavy. That's training you.
That's what I was gonna say, yeah.
How quick did you just decide? How quick did you just decide?
Oh, in this day and age, probably take me a little longer, but I used to be able to do it within a minute. When I started, I perfected that.
Alright, so my name is Tristan, and I'm in 6th grade. And what I found so far was I found some like pretty cool guns and pretty cool swords, and people were like very interesting stuff, and these people probably wouldn't do those stuff, and they probably fight for their culture, and yeah.
My name is Riley Webb. I'm 6th grade, and the most exciting thing about today was the museum, because I liked how the way they showed us like where they slept, what they eat, you know, what they were doing, and I really want to see more stuff like that, but I mostly want to see how they were doing it and what they were doing in action, like how they were sending letters and more stuff like that.
I'm Darian Tuamo, and I'm in 6th grade. I think all the mannequins and all like the live representations of what they had to go through and all these struggles, it's just really amazing to be into. We want to see more like representation, more of these actual vehicles, because I think these are really cool, and more of that art. Like the art is pretty nice, like some representations of what they had to go through. It's just very nice to see.
So we get it right. Now I'm gonna demonstrate how to count off, all right? While you sit down. So you're number 1, right? You're gonna turn and look to the person and say it loud so he knows you number 1, he's number 2. It'll sound like this. 1! And then in the second, 2! Wait, 3! Turn to the person to your right. So when you get here, right, you know you're next. You're gonna turn, okay? When you mess it up, we're gonna stop and we're gonna start all over again till we get it right. Got it? You know what I'm saying? You gotta be loud so the person beside you here.
Get out the phone, man.
Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 11.
How you doing, guys? I'm Sergeant First Class Vargas. I'm the platoon sergeant and training NCO for Echo Company. We are a support company, so we support the aviators over here. We give them fuel.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sergeant Mateo. I'm from Florida. I've been in the Army 6 years. I'm 25 years old, and I re-upped. I'll be in the military until 2030. I'm a wheel vehicle mechanic, so I can give very different instruction on this vehicle and how it works and whatnot, if anybody's interested. And we're ready to get started.
Hey guys, how you doing? Again, can you listen to me? Okay, this is a helmet truck. We use it to provide fuel mainly to the helicopters. Okay, and the Chinooks, have you seen the helicopters with 2 things on top? So we fuel those 2. Okay, this one can have up to 2,500 gallons, right? Let's talk about the PMCS.
Oh, okay. All right. So the way the brakes on this truck works is it's engaged using air. Sorry, this is my first time ever giving a class to young children. How are y'all doing? Okay. Bulldogs! Too easy. All right. Anywho, this is an air brake system. It takes in air, compresses the air, makes the drums stop the brakes, and it's much better than regular cars. This fills up with air from outside, sucks it in, and uses it to stop the truck. Too easy? How does it stop it? It expands the brake pads into the drums. Because if you look, y'all can get a close look at it if you guys want. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead, take a few minutes, get a gander. Oh, by the way, this vehicle hurts. Watch your head. Bulldogs! Hey, just be sure to watch your head. We already had one casualty. You good? You okay? You sure? Huh?
I want to take your bill.
Yeah, go ahead, twist it. Yeah, that's a ladder. All of them open. Yeah, go ahead. It's the knob on top. Yep. There you go. Close it. Close it. There you go. Oh! All right, somebody asked me what this ladder was for. All right, so this truck holds 2,500 gallons, and the way we check that is by getting up top. None of y'all are getting up top, but I will.
My physical health. Ooh, can I claim I don't care about my physical health? No.
Smart.
Who are you calling me?
This big stick right here is how we check how much fuel we got in this truck. Bulldogs! That was weak. Do it again. Bulldogs! There you go. All right, look. This yardstick has numbers on it. It'll let us know how much gallons are in this truck. Too easy? See how it's wet? Y'all see it? Y'all see it? Y'all got a visual? Okay. That, what? It's diesel.
Diesel, my favorite.
Yeah. All right, Sergeant Vargas is going to let you know how we provide fuel to these helichoppers. Go ahead, Sergeant Vargas.
Okay. So before we start operations, first thing we do is this. Gauging on top, and because we need to know how much fuel we have. Based on that one, we need to know, then we're gonna see if we need more fuel or we have enough, okay? If we don't have enough fuel, then we get more fuel transferred to this one, to this port. Can everybody see it? Come on. Come over here. Okay. So we use this port. We hook up a hose from the other helmet and we transfer fuel to the truck, okay? This one, even, remember I said it can hold up to 2,500 gallons. We never get 2,500 gallons. The most we can do is 2,350. Why do you think we can go only to 2,350?
It expands.
Exactly, that's the word. It expands.
So,
okay, so in the morning, we do this, the temperature in the morning is different to the temperature in the afternoon, correct? Can be 60 and go up to 80, 90, or when I was in Iraq, it was 145. In Kuwait, it was 155. So you see, the temperatures varies, so it expands. It's exactly the reason. So we never get more than 2350 in this, okay? So that's one thing. So
Think about what he just said and the way. All right, show of hands. Who's ever made ramen noodles before? Yep. All right, what happens to the water when you're heating it up? It boils. Does it boil out the plate sometimes? Yes. So that's what'll happen if we fill this up too much and it gets hot. It will expand and boil out like bad ramen noodles. Too easy?
yeah, something like that, okay? That's the idea. Okay, so every morning, normally when we in a mission somewhere, we there for like 5, 10, 15 days. Or if you go overseas, you are there for 6, 8, 9 months. Or every day, we make sure we check the fuel every day. We make sure we have enough fuel. Okay? So this is to get fuel. And this one right here, this one right here, this one is called, this one has, okay? This one is especially for helicopters, okay? And we open the box, this one, and this one. And we push this lever over here, and we fill the helicopter, okay?
All right, now if we want to take a trip to the side and on our way to the front. Oh, you asked me. Yes, that button is an emergency stop. In case a fire were to start, we hit that button, it'll stop everything. This is our fuel tank. You don't see yours on your car because it's typically inside or under. But here, you get to see it. That way you know how much fuel you've got. All right. Now, I'm a mechanic. This is helpful to me. I can change oil filters from this panel right here. Y'all can take a gander. Go ahead. You can even get a view of the engine. Huh? I agree, very yellow. Yellow is a color. All right, first come, first serve. Whoever's here gets to take a gander. Oh, slow it down, Bulldog! All right, slow it down, one at a time. He is?
My grandma's brother fought in World War II.
There also happens to be a passenger seat. Yep, there you go. One at a time. If everyone can make their way to the front of the vehicle. Keep going. Keep taking turns. Excuse me. Y'all make your way to the front of the vehicle. Or favor.
So I'm Staff Sergeant Capps. I am the platoon sergeant for the air traffic control unit here at Fort Knox. This is Sergeant Carroll. She's one of our shift leaders as air traffic controller. This is our mobile tower system. So it's the same thing as that tower up there. That's a fixed base tower where civilian air traffic controllers work. And then on the military side, we have this truck, the mobile tower system that is mobile, obviously, and we can deploy it worldwide in a C-17 aircraft. Before I joined the Army, I thought air traffic control was like you take the sticks, you bring the aircraft in with the lighted sticks, but you actually get on the frequency and you talk to them, clear them to land, clear them from takeoff, stuff like that. We also have a radar truck that has a spinning dish on the back of a Humvee, so it provides instrument approaches to an aircraft, to the airfield. So if the weather gets kind of crappy outside and they can't see, we can still get them into land. Other than that, it's pretty cool. Air traffic control is one of those jobs where it can be stressful at times, but the more you get good at it and you you learn the job. Everything tends to become standard, you know. So other than that, you have any questions? What's that?
How do you like move the car?
So this is an LMTV. It's a 5-ton truck, and we have a cab up there with 3 seats. So you have a driver, you have a truck commander, and you have an assistant that sits in the middle. And we pull our trailer back here. It's our generator trailer. It's dual 18 kilowatt. So we can pretty much just take it anywhere, run our power off that generator, and it powers all this truck. To have to do. So if we're at an airfield, right? So let's say we're in a Thunderbolt. So those are pretty cool. What do you got?
How much do you get paid for this?
How do I get paid? So I get paid based on my rank. On the civilian side, you make a lot of money. So air traffic control is one of those jobs that transfers well to the civilian sector. In the Army, it goes by rank, but over there, they have their own rank system. And based on your rating criteria, so if you're a new guy and you haven't been certified on any positions, you make a little less money. And as you get certified on this position, you'll make a little more, and you keep progressing until you're fully qualified. Once you get fully qualified, you can make up to $200,000 a year. That's a pretty good job. What do you got? We don't have fighter jets here. We do have fixed-wing aircraft stationed here. They're C-12 Beechcraft, and their main job is to transport VIPs from airport to airport. But mostly we have Blackhawks.
How long does it take to be fully qualified?
So to be fully qualified as a air traffic controller at a tower, it takes a minimum of 6 months, but it can take up to 9 with holidays and days off and stuff like that. What do you got? I am. So I'm the only air traffic controller in the Army Reserve, certified on every system and in an air traffic control tower. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So I worked up there for 5 years as a civilian air traffic controller, and then I went active duty here at Fort Knox at this unit, and I've been doing that for about a month. Does anybody else have any questions? These are light guns. So if we have a radio failure, right, we can take this, point it to the aircraft, green, clear to land. You have red for don't land, and yellow or white can be cautionary. So you just point it at the aircraft. There's an optic here. You just point it straight at them, and they can see it. It really just depends on how foggy and how rainy it is. Normally they can. If we can see the aircraft, they can see this. But if it becomes too dense, we would send them to our radar unit, and they would bring them to where they can control them via the instruments instead of visually. The aircraft have the instruments. We have the capability to control them with those instruments. So you have an ILS, which is not what we do. It's instrument landing system. That's what we use here at the airfield. But we provide PAR services, precision approach radar, and that's with our voice. So we have a screen that has a line here that shows left and right, and a line here that shows up and down. So if they're going too far down, we'll say go up, and we'll tell them to stop. If they're going too far right, we'll tell them to come left, and we'll tell them when to stop. And it will bring them pretty much like this all the way to the airfield. Correct. Yeah, we clear for takeoff and clear to land. We also do low approaches, which is where they come. And the aircraft have to maintain currency on their own types of approaches. So they'll touch ground, and they'll also do a low approach, which is they just hover over the runway and keep going around.
Daily is like every day that you have to help one take off and land?
It's based on their own requirements. So if they're flying and they have 20 flights a day, we handle the 20 flights, whatever it is. But also transient aircraft, right? So if you think of this airport as a 4-mile circle, we control that 4-mile circle. So if they're operating within, or if they're aircraft at a different airport transitioning through our airspace, we own the airspace. So we will control that 4 nautical mile ring.
You seem like you have a whole ton of high-tech stuff. How much does this one cost?
How much does it cost? It's a lot, buddy. It can be up to $10 million. Just depends on what system it is.
Like just
this truck is about $3 million, give or take. It just depends on when you order it because of inflation.
Have you ever like had to tell a plane to like get out of the area when it was flying over?
We have had aircraft that were not supposed to be in our airspace come through our airspace, and they're normally pretty good about keeping two-way communication. We say, hey, who are you? They tell us who they are, and then we'll deviate them or handle them, just depends on their situation.
So, like, to do this job, do you need a pilot's license?
No, you need an air traffic control license. So I can actually show you mine. Well, that's my military ID. So this is air traffic control license. It's called an AOV credential, and you get it after you get rated. Once you get rated, they'll tell you on the back what you're rated for. And this is for Fort Knox Tower. It takes a minimum of 6 months, but I got this one. That's for your first rating. After your first rating, you can get rated as fast as you can get rated. I think it took me like 3 months to get rated. Yeah. That helicopter is on yellow ramp, and he is spinning up doing his initial pilot checks. Before they fly, they have to make sure all their instruments and their board's good to go, and they run through their pre-flight checklist. Once they've done that, then they'll go out, they'll do hover checks, and then we'll clear for takeoff. You may. This guy is spinning up. He should be departing soon, so if you just keep your eye out, you'll see him.
This does. Tell me what the other instruments does. Do you have anything like specific to that tower or this truck?
Like equipment wise? So that tower has fixed base antennas on the top of the hill that don't move. The difference is we are mobile, so we have a telescoping antenna. It's about 5 feet tall, and it goes to about 50 feet with the antennas on it. So we'll telescope it all the way up. We'll put guy wires on it to make sure it's secure in the wind, and we can take it anywhere in the world. Yep, so this radio right here is our man pack, and because the system is not turned on, I have this one keyed in right now talking to the ground frequency up at the tower. So, anybody have any other questions? So,
how do you key in a frequency?
You just go through the radio, and there's programming in there where you just key in whatever frequency it is. So,
you need something from me? All right, hello everyone. My name is Staff Sergeant Taylor Barnett. I am one of the flight paramedics on this aircraft. We are a medevac aircraft, which means that we transport hurt or sick patients from one location to another while performing medical treatment in the back. Normally you'll have a flight paramedic, you'll have a crew chief who's like the mechanic on the aircraft, and 2 pilots as well. We carry a lot of patients on here. We try to just get them from one place to another, try to get them taken care of. One of the things that we're big on is you see how large my aircraft is. I can't land everywhere, so I'm missing my rescue seat. But we have a seat. We can lower that seat on this hook here, and using this hook, they can lower me down while the aircraft's still in the air. So whether that's 10, 20, 30 feet, we will lower somebody down, I can get the patient, and then we bring them back up into the aircraft. There's a lot of different things we can do with this aircraft. Try to Red Cross. You guys are more than welcome to chime in. If you have any questions, ask me. One of my pilots is in there as well. He can answer questions. We've also got two seats in the cockpit up there. Some of the group can go on the other side. I have Staff Sergeant Ford over there. He can talk to you guys about something. Hey, you're more than welcome to take pictures. Hello, how you guys doing? Were you guys able to hear me back there? Alright. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We'll just rotate you guys through. One of my pilots is inside, so if you have any questions about being a pilot, he loves to answer. If you have questions about being a flight medic, I love it as well. That's what I do, and I love my job. How much money you make? Money? I can't tell you about that. Look. Hey man, what's your skincare routine? What's your skincare routine? I said it look good. Thank you. I don't really have a big routine. That will just rotate you guys in. The patients. Getting to see the difference. We have a unit in New York right now. They're taking care of quite a lot of people. They're doing the active duty medevac mission up there, and they transported someone that they did not think was going to make it, and he is in the ICU recovering right now. So knowing that you made that difference to get someone at their worst moment in life to getting the best medical care that they can feels good. They helped get a pregnant woman to the hospital. She delivered her baby. They got to meet the baby.
So we train people how to react to failures. So we train single engine failures all the time. We train limited hydraulic failures. We train auto rotations, which would be a dual engine failure. Or if you had a tail rotor malfunction, we also train how to manage a tail rotor malfunction. So we train for a lot of the things that can happen, but I will tell you, after 30 years of flying helicopters, they're pretty reliable, and they don't really break that often. Crazy enough. We maintain them a lot, though. It costs a lot to do that.
Well, what I mean, if let's say your brakes were working and you put a self-plane and then
Don't need brakes because they got the rotor system.
But if it randomly stops, those aren't even working, you're falling down.
So it'll auto rotate. That's what that is. So essentially, you've ever seen a pinwheel? You know what a pinwheel is, or just
the fourth thing.
So a windmill. Imagine windmills are just driven by the wind, right? So this helicopter weighs about 16 to 20,000 pounds, depending upon the load. And if both engines quit and you lower the collective at the right time, the air that's coming up through the rotor system will drive the rotor system. So you can create enough energy doing that to be able to land it. You only get one shot, but you can auto rotate this thing and land it without any engine power.
It sounds like a lot of science.
It is a lot of science.
Which is the subject I fail in.
You don't need to know the intrinsic science. You just need to know how to fly the aircraft. I'm not great in science either. So
you just need to trust it.
You gotta, hey, they designed it, I just make it do what it do. So
that's cool.
It is cool.
You got amazing opportunities here, and I just want to list a few so you think about it. I would love for you to be able to talk to your cadre, your leaders. I'd love to be able to talk to your parents about it. Describe it to your parents when you're driving by. You ready for a couple opportunities? One, you could be the pilot of this aircraft 2 years after you graduate high school. Or I could give you a 4-year scholarship to the college of your choice. Maybe in Kentucky, maybe not. But some of your parents are wondering to themselves, you're really smart and you're really great, and I don't know how I'm going to pay for your college. Well, how about you just say, there's this crazy guy at Fort Knox that wants to pay for my college anyway. So I can pay for your college, I can make you an officer, I could bring you in, kind of explain some things, and you could actually be a pilot here in this unit, flying these aircraft over your house. You could be an aircraft mechanic like you see behind you. These are amazing professionals from this local area. And if you do anything that I just described, you can actually have some real financial benefits. My youngest soldiers who are aircraft mechanics and then work here, they're making just shy of $100,000 around their age 21. Folks, there's a lot of adults walking around you every day that don't make that kind of money, and that could be you. But if you don't want to do aviation, you could be in the personnel, you could be at Signal, you could be in military intelligence, you could be in logistics, you could be in my air traffic control formation, you could be a medic, and some of you saw the air ambulance out there. Amazing opportunities. So I want you guys to do me a favor. Every time you drive up and down 31W and you're going past Fort Knox, I want you to think about your opportunities. But you got to do a couple things on your way towards that road. Will you do a couple things for me? Drugs ain't going to work. Like I'm just telling you, it ain't gonna work. That can eliminate your opportunity. Stay fit. Help your own opportunities. Do well in school. Math and science matter. And we have written tests. Some of the things that I just described require a certain score on the ASVAB. I know all of you could do it, but you're not going to do well on a test if you're not trying to apply yourself in school. Does that make sense? So do me a favor and do yourself a favor. Think about your opportunities and then be prepared. Put yourself in the right position to take advantage of those opportunities. And then when the time's right, you're going to have amazing doors open up. And you'll have amazing opportunities to make money, have fun, make friends, build a profession, and go on with your life. Let me see if there's any questions. Yes, sir. What college you want to go to, brother? Okay, I'll pay for it. All day. And by the way, he's asking a great question. You can take my scholarship and go to any school in Kentucky. It's got to be accredited, but the school you're mentioning is accredited. Or I have a unit that everything you see here, Blackhawks and same opportunities. I got that in North Carolina, Kansas, Florida, Texas, Washington State, California, New Jersey, Virginia. Pick where you want to go. But I'm talking to a bunch of folks that live in and around Fort Knox. Maybe you want to do it right here. But if you want to go to school in North Carolina, I'll pay for it. But you got to apply yourself. You got to get good grades. You got to be ready. You got to be fit. Can you do that? All right. Game on. Give me another question. Yes, sir.
So, you said that you pay for it, but so do we have to go to college to be an engineer?
It's a good question. You don't have to be an engineer to fly, but I do have pilots who are engineers. But to be a degreed engineer is to say that you've graduated from college. I highly encourage a lot of people, some of you want to be a business major, a history major, something like that. I encourage you to take the hardest, if you're going to college, which you can be wildly successful, you don't have to go to college. But if you want to go to college, your parents want you to go to college, great. And if you're going to college, I encourage you to take the hardest degree that you possibly can. You can get other degrees in your master's program after college. But if you're able to get an engineering degree while you're in college, that's an amazing opportunity. What I'm about ready to say, I would ask your cadre to translate. Are you ready? I'll give a 4-year degree to the Speed School of Engineering. They can be in the reserves and they'll be a commissioned officer part-time. And they can work for Lockheed as an aeronautical engineer just on the other side of Lexington. They'll start at about $150,000. And they are aeronautical engineers on Blackhawks for Special Forces, right here in Kentucky. You find the right kid, that is an amazing future. You are an aeronautical engineer for Lockheed flying Blackhawks here as a reservist. That's a great future. That person's going to be a colonel, guaranteed. Did I answer your question though, sir? To answer your question, yes, you're going to need a degree to be a certified engineer. My rank is I'm a brigadier general. There's 4 kinds of general. Actually, there's 5. We don't have a 5-star general, so it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm what they call a baby general.
So if I were to come here, I want to do this, and I come here, how would I
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Your cadre know how to reach me and my staff. And I sit down with individuals that are interested in understanding this more and getting the details. Because I'm just giving you a sketch. You want to come see it? We'll find a person at a time to sit down with you at a table with you and your parents or whoever your trusted agent, right? The people you trust. We'll sit down and we'll explain to you all the opportunities. We'll line it right out for you. It's a great question. Yes, ma'am. I don't think I heard the question. Can you repeat it? Come closer. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's a great question. There's a couple ways to start this process for you and your parents. You can start with the local recruiters, and the recruiters in Elizabethtown, as an example, they know us, we know them, and you can talk to them. You can literally come as a visitor to Fort Knox and stand at this hangar until someone walks by and you say, I'm interested in doing this. Like I don't want you to feel intimidated to come here. Your parents' tax dollars, I would say your tax dollars. How about this? His tax dollars are paying for it anyway. You may as well come check it out. But we will sit down with you and your parents, for example, and we'll find a person, we'll sit down and talk to you and look at your opportunities. Totally possible. And recruiters will help you do that as well. The real time that's important to think about it is perhaps when you're close to being able to make the decision. That's around age 17 or any time after. Some people decide to do this at 17 and 18. Some people wait until they're 22. Some people wait until they're in their late 20s and 30s. I just had a person join the Army at age 55. So don't think that you have to make the decision right now, and don't think that when you're 25 it's too late. Does that make sense? Woman and man is the same. The age doesn't matter. In order to be a pilot, I have to send you to flight school before you turn 32. You cannot be in the Army after age 60 unless you get a special waiver. That's the age limits. Actually, be a warrant officer. You have to do warrant officer, pilot, warrant officer 32. Any other warrant officer is 46. You can't go to basic training if you're more than 36, I think. So there are some age restrictions, but how about this? You have 3 more lifetimes based on your current age before you're kind of like too late. You'll be all right. Who's a better recruiter, me or your mom? I don't know. I'm killing it right now. Tell me your question. Oh, that's a great question. There's a lot of people that want to be a recruiter. They want to do this thing and tell people about opportunities. One, you got to be in the military and have a job and get some experience, so that when you talk to people, you're doing it from a position of, I've done this and I've experienced it. Does that make sense? And then you can raise your right hand. Right now, the Army's just trying to get as many recruiters as possible. Recruiting is a great opportunity. Listen, we're almost out of time, and it's time for you guys to go to the next thing. Finn's going to lead you out the door, and if you have any questions, you can ask the cadre. Channel those questions through your cadre, and we'll get answers back to you, okay? Wonderful to have you. Thank you for coming.
All righty.